Alrighty, we are live on YouTube. Waiting for some people to get into the chat on TikTok. Let's do something like this for TikTok. And we'll go over my loss today. Let's talk about things that must be done here for the text. We must enter off of, we must, first of all, number one, we must wait for a higher time frame POI to be respected or disrespected. Number one. Number two, we have to wait for, and then basically go to the lower time frames and wait for a BOS, a break of structure in the same direction, or a change of character in the opposite direction. So let's talk about my trade today. Made $500 today. Pissed again because I keep getting these losses and then making my money back. Well, let's talk about it. So what I'm talking about, key time frame POI. This same 30-minute provided gap has haunted me all week. So basically, on the 5-minute, we got this nice candle close above, and I got in because one, I was on the 5-minute too early because I wanted to play this little scalpiana, which was not even worth it. I made like $50 because I knew we were going up, obviously, because we swept the lows of yesterday. But actually, let's do an overall time frame. On the 4-hour, we were kind of in like a CRT range. Obviously, these lines, these are just the points of liquidity that we could have ran to. So I know it looks like a lot. But the range I'll show you was here. Here to here. The high of the 4-hour candle from Tuesday, I think it was. And then we wound up sweeping it at 8:30 and running to the daily high yesterday. This yesterday, yes. Yesterday's highs and lows. We swept the lows at 8:30, ran it to the high. So you're an 8:30 trader, you got a beautiful trade. I think at 9 o'clock, you might have had an entry at 9:30, I meant. Yeah, you kind of could have got in right here at 9:30. And then on the way back down, these are the liquidity points we had. Those are those yellow lines. We had one here, we had one here, we had one here. I wanted to go to the lows from the morning, is where I wanted to take it. We didn't go that way. So anyway, I knew we were going up to these daily highs, so I took the scalp to the highs, which cost me because I was originally sitting on the 15-minute and sitting on the 30-minute. If you would have stayed on the 15-minute and the 30-minute, you would have seen this. We did not candle close above the 30-minute provided gap. And honestly, you didn't even have to wait for the candle close. You could have waited for just this push off. We pushed off. We came back up like we were going to maybe go up higher. And that's what had the entry if we were going higher. But on the 5-minute, you saw the 5-minute candle. I did like that 5-minute candle. However, on the 30-minute and the 15-minute, we did not candle close above this. You have to wait for this. Is like I said, a 30-minute fair value gap. Has to be respected on the 30-minute. But obviously, once we reversed, we got good displacement. We had a fair value gap to, to inverse. And then this is the turtle soup. This is the opening of 10 a.m. candle right here. So I got in. I didn't wait for the inverse. I didn't wait for the candle close. If you did wait for the candle close, your entry was way down here. We tapped you back in this fair value gap for a nice entry off this fair value gap, and we ran down. I turtle souped it because obviously once we reversed, we reacted off this gap. We were about to close back into the 4-hour candle range. So this is basically the top wick of the 4-hour candle. If you need to know what that looks like, it looks like this. That's all you should be trading. That was this wick. The top wick of the 4-hour candle, before we got back in this pink line, I got in somewhere up here, took it down, and then again, since I had a losing trade first, I didn't hold it the entire way because I scaled in. So I took it to a point of interest, the fair value gap, waiting for it to inverse. This was a fair value gap on the 15-minute chart. Once we closed below it again for a break of structure, I got back in and took it to this liquidity point right here. So I ended the day 500 in profit. I would not have that loss. Even with these two trades, it would have been up $1,000. I would have really been funded right now. I've been giving so many $1,000 days away by taking these like $500, $600 losses. Obviously making them back in profit, which is great. I did take a full loss yesterday, but I'm like so mad. I only need two $1,100 trades to be funded. That's it. I need to just catch these without these reversals. So what we're going to back test today, we're just going to back test marking out higher time frame, probably 30-minute and 15-minute, or 30-minute and hourly fair value gaps or breaker blocks or anything it can reverse off of. And that was what our last trade was yesterday on back testing. I marked out this 30-minute fair value gap, waited for it to come back to it, and then I had obviously a limit order set, but you could wait for it to push off of it and get in the trade after that, or you win it and waited for a change in the state of delivery, which is here. So you could have had a limit order set once it broke below it, candle closed below it, have a limit order set when it bounced back in it, and then that could have been your trade. So that's what we're gonna practice today. Waiting for it to hit these 30-minute to hourly fair value gaps in the after 10 a.m. and seeing how many times it reacts off of them into the direction we want to go. We still have to do our higher time frame bias, of course. But yeah, that's what we're gonna backtest today. So let's get into it. So I forgot to turn on my chat on YouTube. Hold on a second. Just in case YouTube chat isn't as popping as a TikTok chat, but gotta have it open because every now and then I get a comment and I'm neglecting it. But yeah, we're gonna go to the 4-hour and the daily to show us what we want to see, because the daily and the 4-hour really kind of give you just an overall direction, like kind of up, kind of down, target here, target there. Let's see what we got. Do we finally reach this daily fair value gap? Okay, we did. We did finally reach this daily fair value gap. So I like that. We can see if we're going to inverse it. We probably will close below it and try to go for these lows here, which is a good CRT. We have a CRT range. We already swept the high of the CRT range, which is this yellow line at the top. It looks like we're already kind of going down. Anyway, by 10 o'clock though, it might be already down to our liquidity point. Oh wait, did I even go to the next New York session? I don't think I did. Next New York session, first of all. Okay, next New York session, yeah, we did bounce out of that gap. We're still gonna leave it on there. We still look like we're pushing down to this low, but again, very indecisive candle, so we'll see. 10 a.m. On the 4-hour, we do have a gap here though that we kind of bounced out of already. A bullish one. And yeah, so we're gonna see. So now let's go down to that 30-minute. So it might be giving a come up here, maybe inverse. These are our liquidity points on the 4-hour. Let's go to the 30-minute and the 15-minute, and let's just see what we have to react off of before, or at 10 o'clock. Okay, we have 15-minute, 30-minute, we're kind of already in a fair value gap to go higher. So we really could wait for it to come. Hopefully it comes out of there or inverses, and then we take it higher or lower. So let's see. I don't think there's another gap though. There is a tiny one here, but no, not really. Okay, looks like we're about to inverse it, and we don't. We come up, we push out of it, so we can really look for an entry for buys, but there is liquidity here, and it's still before 10 a.m. So I'm sure we might come up here and let's see if we get a reversal off of that, which lines up with the 30-minute as well. Or let's just see what happens at 10 a.m. I mean, it came back for an entry here. What does that look like on the 5-minute? We did come back into this gap. Yeah, I was gonna say I wasn't confident in us going up. Alrighty, that's an insane candle, but you now have to get in here, or well, we do have a change in the state delivery if that's your thing. I've been researching it, which is like the breaker, the order block, whatever you want to call it. So technically you want to set your entry there if it leaves you so you get a better entry. And then let's see if we take it to the London lows, which is not the best risk to reward. Or you can see if it fills the gap for 1 to 1.8. Let's see if it taps you even in for the trade. No, immediately goes against you. So what do we see on this? On the 30-minute, it was showing indecisiveness. So the 30-minute was showing us that it is indecisive. So this is one we just would have lost. Again, if you got in up here, this candle displaced. So did that displace on the 15-minute too? It did. Yeah, my eager ass would have just gotten in on that. That would have been just something I would have lost. And then let's see, we're probably going to push to this fair value gap up here. On the buy side. All right, now, well, it's the end of the day. It didn't hit the gap, but it did push up. So you could have got back in the trade for a buy. EMA is far from it. This is still kind of shitty price action, but if you would have got in again, you would have had another day like I always have. Like take a loss, then I take a win for a $500 day. Which is still not that great of a risk to reward, honestly. Obviously, this is the 15-minute chart. On the 5-minute, let's see what you get. You kind of get an entry here, or a little bit better of a target. Oh yeah, there's previous day highs. The previous day highs there. So yeah, that's it. But like I said, I'm trying to get rid of these fake outs for myself. This is my goal in life, to just catch the one good trade of the 4-hour 10 a.m. candle. All right, but let's go to the next day. Next New York session. But like I said, on the daily, it was very indecisive. So it wasn't even anything we could do about that. Daily, 4-hour, every morning. Alrighty, we're still back up in this gap. We're still up in the gap. So let's see. We do have a 4-hour gap here that we can maybe inverse, or we already bounced out of it, but we could inverse this daily gap. We're just seeing, you'll see when you get on the lower time frame. And then let's see if we get, actually let's do 30-minute and 1 hour. Just to see. We do have a 1 hour value up here on the 30-minute. This big one is making the gap, and it lines up with the hour. So it's like maybe we'll bounce off that and go higher, or we might inverse it, but you want to wait for the full move out of it, or full move inverse it. So let's see, is there a liquidity point swept? I mean, these London highs were swept. We can mark it. But let's see. A nice inverse. Oh, there is a gap here though, as well. Okay. Inversed both of these, lower time frame. Do we have a breakup structure continuing to the downside? Okay, we do have this inversion, and then we do have a little breaker slash, breaker block, whatever y'all want to call them. I don't really trade them. If you want to, you can have your limit order set there, or for it to retest this inversion. Here, I probably got in on this candle close though, right beneath it. Stop loss there. Target the low below the gap, or this fair value gap down here. Let's see if we actually push. We could now reverse off of this. I'm nervous. Boom, good trade. I'm nervous, but and this is why I don't trade breaker blocks, because sometimes it don't come up there. It just runs with you. So I don't really wait for fair value gap taps like I used to. I don't wait for breaker blocks to be retested. I just get in when I get a candle close or something, whether the entry is good or bad. And I usually just get in on that because I don't like to miss trades. Again, there's nothing wrong with, there's no FOMO. There'll always be another opportunity. But for me, there's days where it runs down like this, especially if you trade the 5-minute chart. If you trade the 1-minute chart, which I don't anymore, it does neglect you. We don't get a fair value gap tap in this range. We got one here though. This fair value gap, it came in. And then we do get one in this fair value gap. It came in here and pushed. So you'll get more of them on the 1 minute. It did not come in this one though. But we got this candle close. And I like to wait for both because there are times where there's 2 fair value gaps and it'll come down, inverse this one, and then bounce off this one and go higher. So I like to wait for 2. Now 3 is a little crazy. But I mean, usually if you need to wait for 3, the market should still pump for you. Let's see if it does. Well, we're gonna stop here anyway. No, it didn't really. I mean, it gave you a little pump. So if you needed to wait and take it to there, it's not the worst of a pump. Like I said, we got in a better trade, so we could again take it here or gone here. But yeah, that was fine. We had to just wait for these gaps to be, like I said, inverted or respected properly. And you have to just wait for the candle close, and you just stay on the higher time frame longer. That's how I know I'm gonna not get faked out, because I wouldn't have got faked out if I sat even on the 15-minute. Look on the 15-minute chart. That was yesterday. 15-minute chart. There was no signs to get in that trade at all. None. No candle close above it. I'd have just been chilling, waiting. And even if I got in on the 15-minute candle close, that's still a better entry than my entry. Could have gotten up here on that turtle soup. And then obviously this white candle here was, this candle. We were basically a blue candle all up here. And then once we crossed back below the 10 o'clock open, we became a white candle, white candle, white candle, white candle. And then obviously still white. And then, it ended in here. And then now this is a new white candle that closed down from 2 o'clock. So that's why it helps. People don't think this helps, but this does help. Because it shows you the open, the high, and the low of this candle. You see it opened here, the high it's ever been, the low it's ever been, and where it's currently trading at. Oh, so yes, let me close this. Let me close this and prep this for tomorrow really quick before we continue back testing. 4-hour daily. We're still in this fucking daily fair value gap, but I'm going to stop drawing it because I feel like it looks like a lot on my screen, the big red one and the big green one. So I hope we come out of this one. And then on the 4-hour, I cut my fair value gap indicator off because it was looking crazy on the 5-minute. We have a 4-hour fair value gap here. Does it line up with the one we did earlier? Or no, this is where we're at now. We're trading in there now. So 4 hour, maybe we inverse this one to go to, why are my crosshairs not synced? Oh, because this is the S&P 500. That's why. This was S&T. ES took out the lows. Like the ES is basically way down here, and NQ did not, and that's why we didn't go to the daily low after my trade. We had S&T. I was like, why do these charts look different? Because they are different. 2024. There we go. The 4 hour candle is still in the middle of the daily candle we're in, and then I wanted to mark there's no this daily liquidity here. Yeah. So hopefully tomorrow we inverse both of these. By the time I wake up in the morning, and then our target will be somewhere. And then we'll handle that tomorrow. But let's go to the next day. And like I said, you gotta sit on the higher time frames for a little bit and wait for the reaction off the higher time frame. POI, point of interest. I finally know what that means, because people always talk about POIs, and I had no idea what the fuck that meant for so long. And now I do. It's just a point of interest. Okay, this is the daily, not even 1 hour. We have the daily, and then we have the 4 hour, and then go to next New York session. Alrighty. This looks a hot ass mess. I'm just gonna mark sell side, I'm gonna mark buy side, and we'll let the candle play out. See if the 4 hour gives us anything. No fair value gaps, nothing, just a mess. There is a 4 hour one here that we respected once, so maybe we come back to it and inverse it, or bounce out of it. Even if we just come and sweep this internal liquidity in reverse from it, we'll see. 30-minute chart and hourly chart. Do we have any fair value gaps to enter off of on the sell side or the buy side? Okay, on the 1 hour, we do have this fat bearish one. I don't know. This is actually a mess. So we'll actually just see what happens. Maybe we come up here and then bounce to go lower. Maybe the 30-minute one is a little higher on the upside and higher on the downside. And there is another 30-minute one here that we've already respected once. So let's just see how they play off of these. Still before 10 o'clock, so that's why you wait for 10 o'clock. Look at that stupid ass 9:30 candle. That's why you wait for 10 o'clock. Well, that's not that bad. It actually came back, popped into this lovely 5-minute fair value gap. That's why I know my chart's looking crazy, because all the fair value gaps are marked. I wouldn't mind taking that trade up this 10 a.m. close, honestly. Candle close. You can wait for it to come out of the fair value gap if you want. Swing high. Target this yellow line for a nice 1 to 4 if we get it. Is there another liquidity point? No, not at all. Let's see. Could be getting in early. Maybe above this high, just to be safe. And boom, good trade. Boom. That's all it is. All you gotta do. You won't get faked out if you wait on the 30-minute or the 15-minute for it to move off of it. That's why I got faked out today, because the 5-minute you can still get, and it wasn't even a fake out. It was me. We got a nice candle close on the 5-minute, and I said that. I said I like this 5-minute candle, but I was looking at the 30-minute chart like we did not close. I think we're also gonna close below this daily fair value gap. I hope we get under it in the morning, but we'll see. I'm gonna mark this line for the daily fair value gap. And then, but yeah, nice trade, lovely trade. Got a nice close, candle close at 10 o'clock. This 5 minute candle wicked up and went wicked back up into this 30 minute one actually. So you could have had a limit order set or waited for it to tap into there and just got in from there. So that's why I said our entry would have been pretty nice since we were waiting for it to respect this 30 minute or hourly for value gap that it tapped right back into at 10 o'clock. Boom, reverse. If you wanted to wait for a close out of this for value gap, then your entry would have been here. Stop loss probably just above that body candle because it's a big candle. And that'd be your trade. There's always different ways to take this. But let's go to the next thing. Oh, I forgot to turn the AC on in here. I'm sweating. Next New York session. All right, we pushed up now. After our little rundown yesterday, let's do the 1 day and the 4 hour. Every time we do every time we have a gap that we had to fill and we filled it. We do have, this is the daily 4 hour. Okay, they look, well, this candle has to finish printing, so I'm not gonna mark this for value gap. We'll just mark the buy side, we'll mark sell side, and then there is a daily bearish for value gap that we're just tapping into. So I mean that we already tapped into. These are all daily candles. This is yesterday, this is today, so we might want to head back up there. I don't know, it's up there. We kind of look like we're about to inverse this fair value gap, but I don't know until this candle fully closes. So let's actually play that out first. I mean, we can still draw it. It's still a gap, so whether we close above it or not. Okay, 30 minute and 1 hour, 1 hour chart. 30 minute chart. Okay, 30 minute chart, we're far from all this, but we do have liquidity points, yesterday's highs, yesterday's London highs. It's looking like a prime continuation day, but let's just see what we get. It is a continuation day, so for y'all fair value gap traders, if you're really confident in this going up, I'm not gonna say it's a continuation day because it could reverse. But if you wanted to, if you're a fair value gap trader and you can wait for it to tap into, one of these to go higher, to triple confirm, we have the gap fill there. All right, it's back in this 30 minute fair value gap. Let's see if it reacts out of it. It's still before 10 a.m. Like I said, I don't take trades before 10 a.m. I try to catch that 10 a.m. candle body. Okay, we got a nice push. This is the 30 minute chart. We just opened. So now we're gonna wait for a candle close or candle push below this gap, I think, before I look for sales. Boom. Go on a lower time frame on your 5 minute. You can wait for a candle close. You can wait for it to come back to this fair value gap if you want it. There is a fair value gap made at this 955 candle if you want it. London lows, first target. Asian low, second target. I want a better risk to reward. I think that's all we're gonna get. Or we could keep running. Oh yeah, there's a bunch. There's a low here. That's next. And yeah, that's a better risk to reward. Then we can put our stop loss a little higher if you want it. Let's see if we get it. All right, we're good. We close, candle close below. Now I could put my stop loss, my take profit too far down, but let's see. All right, it's 2 o'clock. I'd probably close the trade here. I don't trade that long. But let's see if it actually goes down to it. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. So all you gotta do every day, wait for it to react off these 30 minute, 1 hour gaps first, I've noticed. And then, react. This, obviously on the 5 minute, like this is a day, there's no fake out for you. ran down. But there are going to be days like, and this happens a lot too. Since I started trading 10 a.m. reversals, obviously being new to them, I didn't realize that this is the thing. But it would always do this big displacement candle just to make a fair value gap to invert it. It did this to me so many times. It would do this like even on the down, like going for reversal to the upside. It would make this big ass candle like we're gonna continue lower. Obviously this doesn't count because it's a liquidity point. This is different because we already swept liquidity here. We swept liquidity once already, so I'm like, okay, boom, let's reverse. Fake out, not kind of a fake out if you were getting in sales off this or even off this inverted fair value gap. Then it came up, stopped your ass out, gave you a big candle like, oh, we're going to keep going higher just to make a gap, just to invert it. Please. So that's why I'm like, watch the higher time frame. So on the higher time frame, this looks great on the, 5 minute, but on 15 minute, 30 minute, the 1 hour, this is a wick. It's not even clear the way we want to go. Why? My computer being so annoying. Yes, he was wicks. This was the same, this 30-minute fair value gap. And we needed a candle close above it, which we saw on the 5 minute, we got a candle close above it. But on the 30-minute, we did not even come close to closing above it. We closed way underneath it. And then boom, get in your trade. We got in our reversals. I wanted it to go to these lows, but this was S&T for ES. ES had ran down already, and we did not. So that's why I say you gotta wait for these 30-minute, 1 hour. This lines up with the 1 hour for value gaps to be respected off of, and or you can take profit at them yesterday. I should take profit. I wanted to go higher. It did not. Sold a little bit, but it is what it is. It's a learning experience. I'm still profitable. Still made $500 today. I just wish it was 1,000 because I'm kind of full porting, like over leveraging on the funded account. So I'm not moving fast enough for the risk I'm taking. Is really the problem. But it's okay. I'm learning this. I'm gonna stay on the higher time frames. Y'all will see. And like I said, I'm still making money. So if you're live trading with me, you still could be making money. It's not like we're losing. I'm just not making the money I want for the risk I'm taking. However, we're still making a good amount of money. So daily 4 hour. All right, the daily is clearly going to these lows. I love it when it's a clear day like this. And then we do have a 4 hour fair value gap that's about to get inverse, so we can just already get in some sales as soon as we get a candle close or a push below this gap is really what we're getting. So let's see. And then we do have one here. Maybe we want to wait for it to tap back into this for an entry, but I personally don't. I actually want to see a gap on the 30-minute or the 1 hour to tap into, not the 4 hour. So first of all, I want to put the hour, like my higher time frames on the right and my lower time frames on the left is how I do, not the 15-minute, I wanted the 30. So we do, it doesn't even look like we want to even go back. Oh wait, I keep forgetting to hit New York session. This is the same session we just traded. And actually it did keep going lower for you, but sorry y'all. Next New York session, there we go. Now the daily, now the 4 hour. It looks the same, except for this opening shitty candle. I still feel like we're going the same. If not, we'll come up to this gap. I'm not going to draw the daily gap because we could go up there. I'll draw it. You have that daily gap there. On the 4 hour, we do have something we can inverse, but it's kind of a big little run right here from London session. It's a bullish one, so it's still a good move from here to here, but you would like to get in the trade somewhere up here, but beggars cannot be choosers. Okay, this is the 1 hour chart. Daily 4 hour. Okay, there's no gap on the 4 hour. There is a gap here that we look like we just bounced off of on the 4 hour. Sorry, y'all. Okay, now, so it is looking like we just want to go down to these lows. This is the 4 hour fair value gap we're in. So it's looking like we do want to just come out of them, go up, push down, push lower, sweep this liquidity, and sweep this one. We'll mark this one as well. We'll see what it looks like on a lower time frame, how far or close it looks compared to our stop loss. Okay, so on the 30-minute, we do have a gap here, which is beautiful. It lines up actually perfectly. So let's see if we come back up. We even honestly can set a limit order. And see what you get. There's a bullish one in here, but I'm not tripping on that. Ooh. I mean, that is 10 a.m. This is before 10 a.m. Yeah, okay, so number one, we got tapped in. We did get a nice push down. So you definitely would have sold your trade at these lows down here. Let's see what this looks like on the lower time frame. We did, I just said that too, we did have this bullish gap. But we did invert it, honestly, so that I saw that these two were fighting each other, these two gaps. There's this gap and this gap. But it actually did work out kind of nicely. It tapped this in at 10 o'clock, and then it ran down and took out this liquidity. So that's not that bad of a trade. It's a 1 to 1 point. It's almost a 1 to 2. It's a 1 to 1.8. Right? Boom. Tapped you in at 10 o'clock. You took it down. Swept the lows right before it made it. Great trade, honestly. And then on the 5-minute, your stop loss would have been here. So it would have been a 1 to 4 trade. Really nice trade. So we're not mad at that. Obviously, we're on the 30 minutes, so it ran up. Now, this is noon. I honestly probably have the chart, but a lot of people do trade this, like the reversal after my trade. However, this is still a beautiful trade. We got a nice candle close out of this bullish gap to go higher. And we inverse this gap if you want to be super sure and get in after here. But you could get in. I don't take second trades after wins. But did we mark out a buy side target? I mean, it's way up there. I don't know. It might go all the way up there the rest of the day. Yeah, it's pushing. It's pushing a lot. So whatever your risk to reward is, right at 1 to 3, 1 to 4 almost. Still a good trade. So 2 good trades, honestly. I'm not mad. Obviously, it didn't go all the way down to our target, but once we saw it push and go down, tap us in and go down, either you would have sold a little bit. If you wanted to wait, once this candle started pushing, you would have sold, or you just, move your stop loss at break even and didn't risk anything on this trade after we came down and then got in the second trade. Or if you're one of those people who takes both, most beginners, I feel like we don't. We take a win and we get off the chart. Even most gurus, I feel like most gurus, once they get a win, they get off the chart. But I've seen people who take multiple trades even after wins. But this is a good setup, so. That was one where the fair value gaps were kind of fighting each other, honestly, because we had, like I said, a 30-minute bearish one and then a bullish one. But the bullish one was made first, so maybe that's a learning lesson. Like if the bullish one's made first, maybe we should respect that one. But you couldn't set a limit order like we did because your stop loss, this ran so much down and draw down that it would have fucked you. You would have only been able to enter after inverted. So, I don't know. That's just take it as you will. Okay, let's do one more. And then you don't think shooting for a set goal might lead to wrong chances? What do you mean? Sorry, I'm just going through the chat right now. You don't think shooting for a set goal might lead to wrong chances? A set goal and like profit target for my funded? Maybe, honestly. It could. It probably has. It's probably why I haven't got funded as fast as I do. Why don't you do options trading anymore? I don't because of prop firms. I copy trade my prop firm with my live account, which is what I like to do now. And options don't have prop firms, so I can't. That's why I don't trade options anymore. And I don't swing trade. I do intraday trade. Or day trade. But I only trade 10 a.m. to 12, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the latest. I used to trade options, though. I like options. Options are great. I always tell people to start with options because you can do it with a small account. Honestly, if I do get to a point where I just don't like the futures. I'm over trying to get funded. I'm over the prop firms. I will go back to options with my own account. I'll get rid of NinjaTrader. I just already got my business account with NinjaTrader, so I don't have a business account with my options broker. I probably should do that like today. But I do like options because they're very easy to manage risk. They're very easy to, I wouldn't say call it gambling, but you're not scared to hold trades because you're risking so little to make a lot. And then with options, you can only lose what you pay for your contract versus like with Forex and futures, like there is no like set, you're playing it per tick. Like, so however many ticks it goes up, you win, however many ticks it goes against you, you lose. But with options, you just say, I'm buying a $50 options contract. If it goes your way, you can win a bunch of money. But if it doesn't go your way, the most you'll lose is the $50 you paid. So that's why with options, you kind of trade better because you are emotionally not scared to lose money. So I honestly haven't been profitable or as profitable since I left options trading. I'm not going to lie to you. I do like the futures charts better though. I do like the things. But then on some days, options traders do make like 60, 100, 200%, which is a normal 1 to 2, 1 to 3 trade. It's just the days when options traders make like 6,000%, 1,000+%. Then I'm like, fuck, I miss options. You know what I'm saying? So like this shit we're trading in now is not good for options, but that fucking Tuesday trade, options people fucking made bank. This is what makes options traders rich. I seen a girl turn like $100 into like 20K. I mean, she held it for a few days, but still, it's like you cannot do that on futures and Forex. I don't care what these Forex and futures traders tell you, you can't. So I do think options, but then the time decay, and then obviously some of us like today the good trade was 8:30 to 10:30. So if you're an options trader, you couldn't get in until 9:30. Even though 9:30 you still got in like at this part, but the liquidity sweep, the reversal, the entry happened at 8:30. So a lot of futures Forex traders, we trade earlier, or we trade at night or after work, or you can take a trade right now in Asian session if you're a futures or Forex, but options traders you cannot trade except for 9:30 to 4 a.m. 9:30 to 4 p.m. New York time versus London session, which is a nice session to trade. I don't care what anyone fucking says, is at 2 to 3 a.m. Eastern time, which is a good time to trade, especially if you live like in LA, which is where I learned to trade originally from. Next New York session, but yeah, I don't trade options anymore. And yeah, having a set goal can mess up your trading, honestly. I probably shouldn't have a set goal, but I'm getting better. This is why we're backtesting this. We're backtesting, waiting for these reactions off these higher time frame fair value gaps. And I'm going to sit on the higher time frame tomorrow until I'm ready to enter, basically, instead of like looking on the lower time frame for entry, which I usually do. All right, we have this tiny bearish gap on the daily. Looks like we're pushing to it. We're already almost there though, so maybe we'll go to it and push off of it like we did once, or push through it because we already respected it once. And we do have another gap up here if we push through it for a second target. And then on the 4 hour, we have a fat gap here, so maybe we run up at 9:30, 10 o'clock. Comes back into this 4 hour gap for us, comes back and then pushes higher. We will see. You just mark the things, but you really want to trade off the hourly and 30-minute gaps, which line up now with this 4 hour fair value gap, so it actually works out kind of nicely. Like there's a gap here that we already respected, there's a gap underneath, and then there's a gap right above, and then on the hourly there is no gap except for the gap we're already in and we pushed out of. But let's see if 10 a.m. we want to come back down into something. Let's just see. Or we might go up here and then reverse back down to here. Who knows? Actually, let's see if there's a fair value gap. There is one up here on the 30-minute. And on the 1 hour. The 1 hour one is smaller. So it could come up. They all line up with this 4 hour one in reverse, and then all the sell side ones line up with this one. So it doesn't even matter to mark them. All right, nothing. We got a nice wick, but nothing for us to get in a trade off of. So we need to bounce off this one or invert this one now. Do we like that bounce? I don't know. Let's go on the 5 minute and see. I don't know if I like that bounce. Sheesh, I don't even like this price action for a change in state delivery. Like, I don't even know what that would be. Maybe this candle? I don't even know. We have like no. So you could have that limit order set for it to come back up in here. But like that entry, but I don't know. I feel like we might push. 1 hour is looking like we're pushing up higher. This could have been 5 minute provided gap tap. We didn't even have one in the middle there on the 30 minute. Let's see if we made one after 10 o'clock. We did not. Maybe the 15 minute will tell us, or did it just confirm the change in state delivery trade? It might have. We haven't stopped this. Haven't stopped this out if you were in that trade. Stop loss above the high. Entry at the breaker / changes to delivery line. Take it to the low of the day. I don't know. I probably wouldn't take this yet. Like that. See, I wouldn't take it. We have no like provide gaps enter off of. It's a lot of wicks, a lot of indecisiveness. That's a nice candle. That these three are nice candles, but still, because look at it. Look how indecisive that was. That's an 11 o'clock hourly candle. 10 a.m. candle was nice. It ran up. So yeah, we opened here. We ran up. This is 11 o'clock. Nothing. Indecisive. And then we pushed. So looking at the candle structure, because we did get this wick, like I said. I wanted to sweep a liquidity point, but it's still a wick. Maybe could have gotten in here, or maybe at this candle close, like at the change of state delivery, but to the buy side. I'd wait maybe for inverted for right gap if we even get it. You know me, I don't trade past 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock at the latest. So we're already almost there. Okay. So yeah, the buys at 10 o'clock would have been the move. And then we wouldn't have traded today. That's what it's giving. Or this could have been a breaker on the sell side, technically. This is the red candle before the green candle went up. So you could have your limit order set. Instead of the limit order set to the downside here, it would have been set to the upside. Stop loss below the body of the 30-minute candle on the 10 a.m. and then taking it for a 1 to 2, 1 to 2.5. I don't know if I would have seen it like that now that we're looking in hindsight. And that's why I don't set orders when I backtest, because we're trying to learn how we would see this stuff. Okay, so what is this? 9:30, 10 o'clock. Okay, 10 a.m. candle opened down here, ran up, came up, came back down into this little breaker, and then came back up again. We do have a gap here that I was gonna mark, but we already inspected it once and we didn't come into it again. But I guess this is after 10 a.m. actually. So you could have either marked the gap. The 10 a.m. candle made a fair value gap, the 10 to the 10.05. Now that I'm looking in hindsight, you could have had your limit order set at this gap for buys, technically. This would have scared me though, I'm not gonna lie to you. But then we finally came in, then we finally pushed. So this entry probably wouldn't have been favorable, but this second one would have been nice. And then, because the first one, your stop loss is way down here. This is what it looked like, you know. Stop loss way somewhere far-ish in case it wants to go. And then you take it up to however far it went. I mean, it's still a good trade. But then if you got in on this one, your stop loss is the swing low that entry of the first one made. That's the swing low, closest swing low before after this one. And then now you get a better 1 to 7 trade, or 1 to 8, or 1 to 10, you know. So that's something to note. Maybe if there's no fair value gap tap or entry on the, these are our 30-minute gaps we wanted it to come up from, you can play a 5-minute one and wait for it to either inverse or come off of it, and it did. So lesson learned. And let's look at this on the higher time frames just to know, like, remember what it looks like. You had, the gap here, 4-hour gap, 4-hour gap. Had some sell side gaps that we were already in when we got on the charts. We already had come out of this gap on the hour and the 30-minute. That's why I was like, so that's probably what 930 was doing. 930 was just coming to tap back into this, then to go higher. So then you could have had an entry if you wanted right at the 10 a.m. open if you really wanted it. But I don't know. That's something you gotta learn and practice. And it wasn't as clear. It wasn't as clear as I thought it would be. Why am I full porting? Sup, Uncle Ruckus? I mean, why are you full porting? Luke, it's still going to 19,127. Good for you, Luke. Luke said we're still going to 19,127. Probably, Luke. But yeah, so I don't know why you're full porting. Full port because you want to get funded faster. Full port. For me, full porting is I already risk $50 a day trading my live account with futures. So it's no biggie to full port a 50K funded account. And I don't full port them every day. I usually full port. Like I trade them for 2 to 3 weeks at a time. And then full port, over leverage. When I seen you took the long ... Hey, we all do it. I saw it looked bad when I took it too, but it wasn't as bad. It just the 30-minute candle. I didn't wait for it to close above the fair value gap, but it's okay. I still ended the day $500 in profit, so it don't matter. But yeah, I definitely could have been up $1,000. I just need 2 $1,100 or $1,200 days. So that's why we're reacting and back testing off these higher time frame fair value gaps. But this was the first time on this backtesting session that we did not get it. So we had to enter off this is a 30-minute gap though. So we came, 930 came, tapped a 30-minute gap, then pushed. So then we could have gotten in, and then we had 5-minute tap, and then we pushed higher. So that's a pretty good trade. In hindsight, that's why everyone's like, you don't set orders when you're back. I'm like, no, because I want to learn and see mistakes that I would not see. Like, this is something I would not have, we clearly didn't see it when we were playing it out. And then we had to go back and be like, oh, actually, there was something we could have done. And that's what you got to do when you back test. How much money did you make today, Luke? I want to know. We did get that S&T reversal, like Tay called on the live, which was good. Took my profit and got off, and it did a nice little reversal back up, but not anything crazy. Okay, this is not clear either, so let's mark sell side, let's mark buy side, and then we do have this gap that we did not go to the day before. We obviously went to this one the day before that we just back tested. So on the 4-hour, it looks like we're kind of coming down to this gap to come down, push out of it, to go up to the daily fair value gap. Mark that 10 o'clock. Honestly. Boom. Boom. Got a tap off that bullish fair value gap. I don't mind that at all. Should we wait for one more candle? Maybe. What do we got? On the 5-minute, I like this. I like this a lot, actually. To the London highs we go. It's not nice risk reward. To the Asian highs we go. Better. Or, I don't want to get too greedy now. There's a nice liquidity point up there. And then I can have a slightly bigger stop loss, which technically should be the swing low. Did I get in too soon? And did. See what happens when you don't follow your rules? Didn't even go look on the 30-minute for a value gap or nothing. Just getting in early up this 9:30. That's why I'm like, I wait till 10 o'clock because whatever happens at 9:30, sometimes 10 a.m. will do exactly opposite. Now let's see if we're coming down to reverse out of this gap for real this time. Like that was a little Tapiana. And now we're pushing. We're pushing. So where are we going? Probably to this sell side. On the other side, there's London lows and Asian lows on the bottom as well. 5-minute candle. See, this is exactly what happens to me. I get in the trade, and then I lose, and then I get back in the proper trade, and then I win, and then, yeah, I end the day 500, but I'm trying to full port and get funded in like 3 days. Like $1,500 trades, get funded in like 5 days, 3 days, 2 days. Obviously, it's been what now? It's been 2 weeks, a week and a half. We finally come out this gap like I originally thought we would? Are we gonna keep pushing lower? All right, stopped out. And this is honestly the end of the day. So we would have lost 2 trades this day, which I don't really ever lose 2 trades. I think I did yesterday for the first time like months. I usually always end break even or profitable. Okay, well this is a nice move nice enough to take profit if you wanted it. And or is this me being impatient and should have been waiting for us to come out of this gap on the 30-minute? But actually no, because this is already 1:30 p.m. So I took no trades. I either lost or shouldn't have took no trades that day. We finally came in though and bounced out of it. And you got a nice actually market structure shift on the 30-minute, which you usually don't get on higher time frames. Swing high, came down, broke it, left for value gap for a nice, unicorn setup on a 30-minute chart. But so this is for the afternoon traders. They're probably doing their thing now. The 2 p.m. traders are getting blessed. And that's it. Is your pride too high to listen to others? Just asking. Never. Why would that? Where did you get that from? I don't understand. Hello there. Said Sad Boy Crab. We literally inversed that. Inverse what? We didn't inverse anything yet. Thank you for the heart, Sad Boy Crab. And no, my pride is not to try to listen to anyone else. I just don't want to listen to anyone else who doesn't trade ICT only because I'm sticking to ICT. That's the only thing. Because some people come in here and they hate ICT and they're like, you should trade a whole new strategy. And I'm already killing it in my strategy. It's really just the emotional impatience of what I do. You really haven't watched ICT. I actually have. I've watched a lot of ICT. But ICT and TJR and all these people also tell you to form your own bias. I'm not watching 2024. You have to form your own bias in your own trading for your own practices. Watching a bunch of videos for years, and a lot of people will tell you this on TikTok too. You have to. That's not my reason. I'm profitable. I'm not losing. I'm losing, but I'm making my money back. I'm just trying to get the fake outs off. I'm not unprofitable. I made $500 today. TJR, I've been told my strat is almost like ICT. Good for you, dude. I like when people have your own strat and then you form your own with what you see in the market. So my strategy also goes with what I've learned in the market. Same with like how someone was trying to argue with me, like you disrespect the optimal trade entry. I just don't trade it anymore because I know there's days where the markets just run and it doesn't come back and tap people in. So I like to just get in after a CISD or after a market structure shift. I don't have to wait for it to bounce back, and that's me. He shows you literally what happens in the market. I know, I've watched ICT. What is your deal? He does show you. I've watched like 50 to 60, maybe even 100 hours of ICT. But everyone tells you that you can't get in knowledge paralysis and just keep watching stuff forever unless you're really struggling. I'm not really struggling. It's just really just me being impatient with my emotions. So I'm trying to get these fake outs stop these fake outs from sitting on the higher time frame more. Like Luke saw today, I got in off of an inverse per value gap of a 30-minute per value gap on the 5-minute, not the 30-minute, and the 30-minute showed me it came up and wicked versus the 5-minute it closed above. That was just a simple me being impatient, knowing that. But all you need is liquidity imbalances and just sit on the market and learn different price action from different seasons. That's all you need, Carl. You don't really need much after that. And ICT even says that. So you think my point is invalid? That is fine. Everyone trades their own way. But ICT is Inner Circle Trader, Sad Boy Crab. He's a mentor on YouTube. He teaches all his stuff for free. And that's what Carl's NYC was saying, how you can watch his 2024 internship, which I agree, because 2022 is a little outdated, but 2022 is the best one that he gets to the point the fastest. But you can just watch his things, or you can just Google his concepts, and people will find them. TJR has a boot camp as well, Sad Boy Crab, who in his boot camp is nice. He really just talks about like liquidity sweeps, market structure shifts, and just trading those only, because all you need is that. And a lot of these gurus who trade ICT who are profitable, a lot of them haven't rewatched 2024. A lot of them have done their own strategy. Really, who helped me shape my strategy to trade only at 10 a.m., catch the 4-hour candle, catch the PO3 was Key Flow Trades. He's on YouTube and he's on TikTok. His name is not Key Flow on TikTok though. It's his real name on TikTok. I forgot his name, but he's the one who like really showed me how like the 4-hour candle is like the biggest move of the day. And I caught it today, and I catch it now almost every day. And then sometimes I just get in early, not being patient or like going against my bias or whatever. But that's something. It's literally me being impatient. Yesterday it was the same thing. I didn't wait for a candle close on here on the 5-minute. It came down to tap you back into a breaker, and then it went up, and I caught the up and I made some money, but I did not wait for the candle close to confirm we were wanting to go up. And that's just what happens. Have you ever thought about trading NYSE, New York Stock Exchange? I do. No, I used to, but I got faked out a lot trading the 9:30 open. And honestly, with the 9:30 open after backtesting, the 10 a.m. trade is always bigger, so there's no point. Like, yes, sometimes like today, 9:30 ran up beautifully to a liquidity point, a great trade. And then my trade, boom, went down, called it beautifully. And today it wasn't the biggest trade of the day, but it usually is. So I don't really care what happens at 9:30. I just want to catch the less fake outs, because there are days at 9:30 where it's trading like super sideways, and then like it looks like it's going down, and it stops you out just to go down, and I've seen it a lot. I said not trading it. Oh, sorry. Have you tried not trading? What do you mean, like trading Asian or London session? Feel like it's nice, in my opinion, but I'm new to this. Yeah, honestly, Sad Boy Crab, find what works for you, and I tell people that all the time. You don't have to trade ICT. You don't have to trade what Luke says. You don't have to listen to Carl's NYC. Everyone here, obviously, we all want to support each other, so I get it, but people are going to do what they want to do. What makes them profitable, and at the end of the day, it would make sense to them. Previous day low looks like it is bound to be swept. It was swept today. Previous day low was swept, and then the daily high was swept. It was beautiful. 8:30 swept the lows, swept the highs. We done inverted this gap, which I wanted. This 4-hour for value gap obviously has to be inverted on the 4-hour chart. So, only in an hour. So that's a fucking beautiful trade if anyone wants to get in there on the Asian session. Like I said, for the people asking about options traders cannot trade this. Futures and forex traders can though. Yes, please backtest your strat for overnight sessions. Just take a look. I might. I like the way I trade now. I like how the biggest move happens in my trade. But if I need to, if I'm really unprofitable, I will. But I'm not right now. I'm still profitable. Like I said, I just want to get rid of these losses and get funded. And if not, I'm just going to go back to my live account and kiki. That's all. I'm not tripping. I do like this an hour, but then 30 minutes. I don't trade at night, so I'm not going to. But if y'all are trading right now, y'all can do what you will with this information. I want to look at the sessions though, because we're in Asian session right now. So Asian session might expand for once. Maybe we'll get an expansion. London will accumulate, and then New York will come back into a London or Asian fair value gap like this, and then we push lower tomorrow morning. But yeah, that's a nice 4-hour candle actually. See who they are. What do you say? I'm gonna watch ICT. Yeah, watch ICT, watch TJR, watch T trades, watch key flow trades, watch there's so many. Oh, Casper SMC, it's Johnny. Right, I like that call. I do like this. I really do. I'm not gonna trade it though, but because Asian uses a move. I mean, that's actually a nice Asian move right here. If you want, all you need is, 50, 100 ticks. All right, liquidity point, we can sweep somewhere. Nowhere. Yeah, the next liquidity point is down here. So maybe tomorrow we run these lows tomorrow in the morning session, y'all. Let's see if we get like a break, a retest, and then we just push the rest of the day. Tomorrow will be so nice. How many points do you dedicate to a stop loss? I don't, because I am an ICT trader. Your stop loss will vary because it's usually the swing low or the swing high before reversal. I trade reversal. So depending on, like, some candles, obviously this is a daily chart, so disregard. But some days, like, I'll actually go to the lower time frame. Some days the market will run up a lot before it gives you an entry. Like, a lot of us took this trade this day for like a 1 to 1.4. Like, we would love to have gotten in somewhere in here, but we didn't really get a confirmation we're officially going up until about like right here. So a lot of us took this trade up to the 30-minute fair value gap. So the stop loss was kind of big at first, and then I had it, but it depends. It's never the same with ICT concepts. That's the only thing. Sometimes you'll get a reversal and it will give you a nice tight stop loss like this, and then sometimes it'll be like this, like a big move up before it taps you in to kind of like go higher type. Obviously these aren't like real reversals, but you'll see how like sometimes the bottom of the reversal gives you a big run before it gives you an entry, and sometimes it's a small run. So the stop loss, yeah, depends on supply and demand levels maybe. No, I don't trade supply and demand. This is a fair value gap, a 4-hour fair value gap. It could line up with a supply zone for some people, but supply zones are usually places we moved off of. This is not. This is an actual gap. It's not a place we've moved off of. It's literally, I don't understand. It's just a gap in 3 candles. Like, a supply zone would probably be here, this order block, versus this is just a gap. I don't trade supply and demand zones. But yeah, read up on ICT and see if you like it. Like I said, I'm not trying to convert people to ICT. I just am helping people who want to learn ICT simplify it into a beginner-friendly time frame where we don't get faked out. That's all. Because people love to say, well, if you're impatient, you shouldn't be trading. Well, how are you going to learn patience if you just don't trade until you get patient? Like, let's be fucking serious. So my thing is, like, I've simplified it to now I only trade 10 o'clock to 11 or 10 o'clock to like 12. I catch either reversal or continuation off a higher time frame POI. Thank you, Uncle Ruckus. And then obviously sometimes I might get faked out, get on the lower time frame too early or whatever, being impatient, whatever, and then I'll get back in and make it, and it's worked out for me really nicely. Even with fake outs, I'm still very profitable. So it has helped, I could say, because the 9:30 open was faking me out a lot. It was really pissing me off for like no reason. Like, please, 9:30, get a grip. Get a grip. My little crab brain can't handle it. Can you type them all in the chat? I'll DM you. Actually, can I type in the chat? Let me see. I can reply to you, I think. Yes. So we have ICT, TJR, Casper, SMC, Key Flow Trades. And Key Flow Trades and Casper, I probably trade this most similar to me how I trade now. T-Trades is my favorite though, of like learning channels. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, because say for MNQ, I tried setting like a $15 stop loss and I got stopped at meeting. Okay, you cannot do that on NQ because NQ moves way more than ES. On ES, you probably could do that. On NQ, you need to have like a $150 stop loss minimum. I'm sorry to say. It moves a lot. Can you see the long coming now? Luke, I don't know. And I'm not looking at that right now. This chat is a back testing education chat. I don't go in to I don't look for entries or going with biases like ever. I like to go on the chart when I'm about to trade and see what's happening at that moment. I know a lot of people ask me like, what do you think NQ is gonna do tomorrow? What do you think this is gonna do tomorrow? I don't give a fuck until 9:55 tomorrow morning. And that's how I feel like we all should treat trading. I know we all are in this hustle culture. I think I'm out of hustle culture from my job. I worked in film, one of the hustlest cultures of all. So I trade 2 hours. I don't spend time on the chart after, unless I feel like I had a bad day like yesterday. I watched a lot of videos because I felt like uneasy about my day yesterday because I revenge traded. So I did watch some videos. I watched some TikToks. But I journal it. I come back test with y'all, which is what you should be doing. You back testing every day, reading a book, trading on the charts, journaling, and that's it. I'm not here to trade all day. I'm not here to be so obsessed where I only forecast for the week every weekend and shit like that. I'm not here for that. I'm simplifying it to the easiest life I can do. And that's that. Again, y'all can say that's why you suck. Go ahead. I'm strictly price action. That's why I'm saying it now because I'm the longest coming. Good for you. I thought she was going to personal message me. Oh, no, sorry. I put it in the chat. I mean, I can personal message you afterwards if you need it. I can if you need it. I think we're good, y'all, tonight. I do this every day, though. Sad Boy Crab or Luke or anybody, even the people who, Santosh, Carl NYC knows. I feel like he's been in my life a few times. So I do this every night. I back test every night at 8 o'clock. And then, I don't know what I did. And then I live trade every morning at 9:55 because catch the 10 a.m. move. And yeah, we'll be back testing. And what his name said, he was like the 10 a.m. candle always taps into like a POI. I'm like, does it? I mean, it did actually come up in here just to reverse, so maybe. This is our liquidity sweep. That is true, actually. It did. It came up. It tapped into this 4 hour fair value gap. I did have that marked, and then we reversed. So actually, he's not fucking wrong. And that's Key Flow Trades. He's the one who put me on that. He just simplified it. He's like, or CRT traders are kind of trying it, but CRT traders are not teaching it. They're like, oh, it's just a 3 candle range. Yes, EST Eastern time. And I'm like, what candle? You can't just say a 3 candle range because that could be random. I could pick this candle as a range and fuck up my trading. Obviously, since I've been backtesting, I kind of see it, but like it's still at random. It's not like this was the 4 hour candle from that we traded on Wednesday, and that technically was the range this time, but like it's not going to always be that. That's why I'm like, CRT people aren't lying, but then you can kind of just see like you wait for a liquidity sweep and then you try to catch a turtle soup reversal. So you kind of see them after the fact. So it's like in the back of my mind, but I don't really trade CRT. I just noticed like you want the 10 a.m. candle to come into a POI, whether you're playing the bottom of it, because these have both been indecisive. So you could play the bottom or the top. I played the bottom this time on Wednesday to go up because it was clear at 9 o'clock. You'll know at 10 o'clock, like at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock yesterday, we were down here to go up. And then today at 10 o'clock, we were up here to go down, and I played the downside. It's you'll see it, it's very obvious. It came up into a 4 hour point of interest. You wait. So honestly, tomorrow, I'm probably going to try to sit on the 4 hour, wait for a reaction off some shit, then get in, make sure the 30-minute and everything, aligns, and go from there. Actually, no, I want to backtest that now. Obviously, some days like this where we just run, we're just running, which was the obvious day that we were just running down to this daily fair value gap that we've been trading in forever. And then what's another 10 a.m. candle? 10 a.m. candle came into a fair value gap. Boom. Reverse. Actually, we were up here first. We were up first. Also tapped into a fair value gap to go down. Boom. Great trade. 10 a.m. 10 a.m. candle this day came into a fair value gap. Oh no, it made the fair value gap, and then it went up. So this one, that doesn't apply. 10 a.m. candle continued down. Obvious continuation day. 10 a.m. candle did not come down into anything, but it did run up after this wick tapped into this fair value gap. CRT-ish move. So you'll get the hang of it. Great info, by the way. What do you use to stream? I stream on OBS on YouTube, so that's why my computer might run a little laggy-ish. And then on TikTok, just on my phone. Y'all are just getting it on my phone. I need to get a PC so I can do TikTok Studio. Oh, I mean, I'm using a phone stand that I got from Amazon that you clip to your desk. But yes, thank you. Talk to y'all later. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'll see y'all in the morning if you want to live trade with me. And you might like a firm. It's probably dropping to 21. I don't know what that is. DM me what that is. But yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow morning. We're gonna live trade. We're gonna sit on the 4 hour and we're gonna sit on the 30-minute, and we're not gonna wait. We're gonna wait for some reactions and wait for some displacement off some shit, and then go to the 5-minute. We're not gonna get faked out. I'm gonna have a nice $1,200, $1,300 tomorrow day. Then get funded on Monday, and then go watch Beetlejuice. But you think you can use OBS for TikTok, right? I think so, but they're different. They're different formats, so I can't do them at the same time. I can either OBS for just TikTok and OBS just for YouTube, but I can't do them together, or one's gonna be distorted. And honestly, as much as TikTok live is the better live, y'all are more people are always in here. Y'all talk more than YouTube. Obviously, YouTube is the one that eventually makes all the money though. So I cannot neglect YouTube. Like obviously right now, I think I make like 20 cents a day, which is still more than I make on TikTok. And then obviously, hopefully once I'm famous and blow up and I'm driving a Lambo and shit, all these old videos will get a bunch of views and make me more money by then. You know what I'm saying? So I heard there's plugins to do all of them, but I just feel like my computer is already pushing it right now. So I probably will wait to do all of them, even though I do miss my phone while I trade. I'm not gonna lie to you, but it's been nice to be focused. So we'll see. I'm on a Mac and it's already kind of slow, but it has been so much faster since I started closing my tabs. Like obviously once I live trade and close FX replay, it moves just super fast. I obviously have to leave the YouTube live up. Not my dad called. I forgot you're on stream. I'm on stream. He does this every day. But I'm about to get off and call my dad. But yeah, I'll get a PC set up hopefully. Well, it'll be a while. I'm still in Mexico, and I'm probably going to go to Mexico City and Playa del Carmen and like nomad across Mexico. So I won't get a PC set up for a while. So this is what it's going to get. But I do have a parallel that I need NinjaTrader with, because you need NinjaTrader for not my login name, but you don't know the password, so whatever. I need Windows for NinjaTrader, so maybe I can run TikTok Studio through my parallel, but I don't want to slow my computer down even more, so that's why I'm scared to try it. But we'll see. But soon I'll just be live trading in the Discord anyway, so it won't matter. Sorry. Not soon-ish, but like, soon-ish. But yeah, I'll see you in the morning, 9:55 a.m. for live trading, and then back testing tomorrow night again like this, every day, 8 p.m. And then tomorrow I think we'll just practice 4-hour, what the fuck did I do? 4-hour POIs for, like we looked at here. I want to see how often the 10 a.m. candle actually goes into a point of interest and just back test that, how many times it happens, and see how if we can just look off the 4-hour chart and trade off that, So we'll see. But I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thank y'all for joining my live. See y'all tomorrow morning.